Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Triple. Casey here, your host. I'm at Niners_fanman on IG, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow me on those platforms. I got another story from today's Daily Triple newsletter. If you'd like to subscribe to the Daily and Triple newsletter and get these stories sent straight to your inbox, go ahead and subscribe down in the description of the clip down below this. So, guys, the next story we have today is from the MLB world. We're looking into the Mets pitching staff, particularly their starting rotation. I'm going to give you guys a little insight into what they probably expected and what they're actually getting out of these guys. So, the two big names coming into the season in the Mets rotation were none other than former Cy Young award-winning starting pitchers Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander, two crafty veteran-type pitchers, both coming into the season without much decline coming into their careers, still at the top of their game, more or less. They were expected to take over that kind of ace position. They were going to co-op that ace position, try to have two aces on this squad to replace the former ace from last season, Jacob DeGrom, who, coincidentally, DeGrom is having himself not such a great year because he just recently, yesterday in fact, underwent Tommy John surgery. Here's hoping our guy DeGrom a speedy recovery there, since that is his second Tommy John surgery, and that's no joke to come back from once. I can't even imagine twice. But back to our guys, Scherzer and Verlander. Have they equated to at least one ace pitcher for the Mets? No, and definitely not two. Because here's what they have done combined so far this season. Scherzer and Verlander have combined for a 4.19 ERA on the season, and they've eked out a combined 7-5 record on 17 starts. That's not particularly good for guys you were hoping would come in and really set the high bar for your staff. But there is a little glimmer of hope for these Mets, who are currently in fourth place in their division, 8 games behind, 9 games. I'm sorry, 9 games behind the Atlanta Braves. There is a little bit of a glimmer of hope for these guys. One, and I'm gonna butcher this name, but Kodai Senga. He is an import from the Japanese Nippon Professional Baseball League. He played for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks for 11 seasons. So he is a veteran himself. I believe he's 30 years old. And listen to these numbers, especially in contrast to what we just said that Scherzer and Verlander have been accomplishing this season. So Senga is actually leading the Mets starting pitching rotation in innings pitched with 64.2. He's also leading an ERA with 3.34 at that mark. He's leading the starting rotation in wins with 6. He's got 3 losses for context. He's leading in strikeouts with 49, and he's also leading the starting pitching rotation in opponents' batting average at 287. That's 5 categories that he's leading his starting pitching rotation. I think that makes him the de facto starter no matter what they thought coming in. Senga did have a pretty optimistic outlook on the season coming in, being this veteran of the sport and coming over to MLB from the other Nippon League. As so many other players do, they have success coming over, so it was highly likely Senga would be able to do this. But he is making these former Cy Young guys look not like former Cy Young guys, to say the least. So I guess this is kind of a choose your own adventure type of story for the Mets. If you're a big Mets fan and you want to look on the bright side, you got Senga to look at. If you happen to be a fan of the Braves or another team in that division, maybe you choose to look at this team as washed up because they're former Cy Young winners. Can't really get them over the hill. They're pitching okay by just regular MLB standards, but for guys you hoped to be the best pitchers on the team, they're certainly not really accomplishing that task there. So, what are your opinions? I'd love to hear it. If you're on YouTube, drop a comment into the comment section below. Also, remember to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get live alerts for our videos. If you join one of our live podcast recordings, then you can find yourself winning a nice little prize maybe, because we give away stuff all the time on our long form podcast recordings. So check that out when you get a chance. And if you're on a podcast app like Spotify or Apple Podcasts listening to this podcast right now, please rate and review us. Rate us 5 stars. Leave a review on the podcast. Tell everybody what you love about the Daily Triple or about the Triple Cross podcast in general. I'd love to hear it. I'm sure others would love to hear it so that they can join our community and have a great time too. But guys, that's going to do it for this particular story today. I've still got one more video to do. I'm not done yet, but I've been Casey at Niners_fanman. You can follow me on socials, and this has been the Daily Triple. I'll see you in the next video.